Besides 3 or 4 monumentally destructive events that are going to happen throughout my life, like the loss of a family member or something, unless I really, really feel down, I'm happy. So if I wake up, it's not I'm thinking if I'm happy or not. If I'm not devastated, I'm happy. It's black or white. If it's not black, it's white. So even if I wake up and I'm furious and I'm stressed and I'm pissed off and I got much to do, I'm still happy. I've decided I'm happy. My happiness barrier isn't this little giddy-ish at the top. My happiness is everything besides feeling distraught. That's how I've designed it in my mind. So I describe myself as a happy person, and I don't really put much merit on my feeling of the day. I've got things to do. I'm an adult. I get my shit done regardless of whether I'm super happy or slightly less happy. I'm still happy and I still perform, and that's it as a whole. So when I meet guys that go, oh, I want to be more happy, I'm like, bro, that is a stupid, destructive way to try and live your life. To constantly self-analyze and compare your happiness to how happy you were at another period and how you're going to get happy again, trying to get to the top 1 percentile of happiness. It's stupid. It's not real, right? You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think what's funny is that a lot of this kind of advice is given to men, and you'll say like a woman doesn't need it, but I find a lot of value in this kind of advice. I prefer men. So they say that women give really bad advice, right?
Yeah.
They say they give terrible advice.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree or disagree, but I seek out advice that men give to other men for myself.
Good, because I think that a lot of the advice that men give to other men is going to be harsher, more logical, and less emotionally led. But I say this all the time to guys who message me and saying they're not happy. I say 2 things. I say, firstly, you shouldn't be measuring or be concerned with how happy you are. Shouldn't be something that's in your mind or something you're even thinking about, right? You've got other things to think about and other things to do. That's the first thing. The second thing is, so the first thing, the fact that you will sit there and self-analyze yourself to determine how happy you are out of a score of 100 is already a mental failure. That's a failure. You should be busy. You shouldn't cross your mind. The fact you have time to sit there and go, how happy am I today? Oh, I'm only this much. Maybe I should be happier. That's already a mess up. The second thing is, and this is the truth, most of you, in fact, the large majority of you, don't deserve to be happy.
Why?
Because they haven't done the work it requires to be happy.
Yeah.
You're not a man of genuine excellence in every human metric. You don't deserve to be happy. You're sitting at your computer with your Bored Ape and your NFTs and $4 million, but you're fat and you're boring and you stink. And you expect yourself to be happy. You don't deserve to be happy. You don't deserve it. You haven't worked for it. Beauty lies on top of the mountain, my friends. You have to climb it. You have to get all the way up there to see the peak and its amazing view. Let me tell you something. I'm happy because all I've done is suffer. That's all I've ever done is suffer. This is how I got here. Suffer. My life's been nothing but suffering and trauma. That's how I got here. That's why my worldview is so brilliant. That's how I can wake up, and as long as no one has a gun to my head, I am happy because I have suffered. You, ladies and gentlemen, haven't suffered enough. And if you haven't suffered, you're never going to be happy. Happiness lies atop a mountain. If it's just laying all over the floor and anyone can pick it up, it has no value. People's entire mental model is skewed. You're a crypto guy, right? You believe in NFTs. NFTs, the whole point of them is that there's one. It's the scarcity that provides the value. If things are not scarce, there's no value to it.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's financial. It doesn't matter if it's even a good body, right? The fact that a guy has big arms, the reason that has value is because it's rare. If every dude naturally had big arms by default, it wouldn't have a value. So you're talking about happiness as if it should just be laid all over the floor. If everyone could pick up happiness without trying, you still wouldn't be happy because it wouldn't have value, and you'd be aiming for you'd be looking for a new attention of happiness. You'd be looking for something else. You just raised the paradigm. And people who are out here trying to find happiness without trauma and suffering, those are the guys who get addicted to drugs, alcohol, all this crap, because they're trying to find temporary happiness. You're going to find happiness through pain. That's where happiness comes from as a man.
There is a huge, I'd love for maybe there's a study, I don't know, but there is a massive correlation between success in life and stress tolerance. The more stress you can tolerate, the better your life's going to be. The easiest way to crumble in life is not be able to handle stress. Like, you think Tyson Fury isn't stressed before he goes out there to fucking nearly get knocked out in front of millions of people? The reason he's the champ is because he has it in his mind, fuck it, come hurt me. And that's insanity. He's inviting a predator to come and hurt him. And he will still go in there with a clear mind, so whatever. And if he loses, he's gonna be made fun of and mocked and memed on the internet for the rest of his life. And he'll still go. Stress level and success are massively linked. So the more stress you can tolerate, the more successful you'll be as a person. So that's an amazing habit to get into, to the idea of just handling stress. Like, most people are stressed out over dumb shit. Like my mom, I love my mom with all my heart, but she'd be stressed out because the house was messy and I'm like, you're stressed over some cups and a plate, and like how can she run a fucking multinational? Like, you know, like some people just haven't got it in them. But I'm built for stress. I'm built for war, so it doesn't bother me. I'd rather have it that way, and at least I can say what's going to happen the way I fucking want it to happen. Because then I get to be in charge, and I want to be in charge.
Yeah, you said something. It makes me think it's something that people who don't appreciate sports and fighting, they don't really understand how intensely vulnerable it is for fighters to walk in the ring and fight somebody else. Everybody's watching. They could win and be the hero, but you could also get your ass kicked.
Listen, fighting is scary. It doesn't matter how big of a tough guy you are. Professional fighting is scary. And everyone knows this instinctually. That's the reason why the movie stars, the fucking basketball players, everyone goes to the boxing matches, because everyone knows they're the dons. Because another thing about fighting is you can win 40 fights in a row. You lose one, get knocked out once. That's it. All the other 40 you won, no one cares. You lost, you got knocked out, all the armchair experts be making fun of you, and that's how it's gonna go. And on top of it, there is a huge, most fighters can't tolerate losing. It's hard, it's a hard thing to accept that another man, effectively, if he knocked you out, he could have killed you. He could have jumped on your head, it would have been the end of it. No referee on the street, you'd have been dead. A man took your life effectively in front of your wife. It's hard. It's hard to deal with, you know, it's hard. And most people don't really understand it unless you've been there. But yeah, it's a scary thing. So these guys fighting for the heavyweight world title, their number one attribute isn't the fact that they're big, strong, and fit. It's their stress tolerance. It's that they can be zen enough to be like, okay, because if you let the nerves get to you, you're going to burn energy, you're going to be wild, you're going to fuck up. But these guys can be so relaxed in such a high pressure environment is insanity. To even, I mean, I've been there and I've done it. And even I will look at someone like Tyson Fury, who came back, fat as fuck, came back 2 years, jumped in with Deontay Wilder when AJ was too afraid, fuck it, blah, blah, blah. Guy's a fucking hero. Mentally, he's a hero. You know, he doesn't give a shit. And that's incredible. But stress tolerance is a massive part of being a successful person. You're never going to be successful without stress. People have this view, I want to be a YouTuber and I just want to have millions and millions of dollars with no stress and have no real company and just make stupid videos and these pipe dreams. And 99% of the ways you're going to get somewhere in life is through hard work and stress and toil and bullshit. That's the way it's going to go. So you better get adept at living in a stormy sea. I'll float in a stormy sea. Give me some armbands. I'll just float with it. Whatever. It is what it is. It's going to survive.